And we are back. Zechariah chapter 7. On the 4th day of the 9th month, in the 4th year of the reign of King Darius, God's message again came to Zechariah. The town of Bethel had sent a delegation headed by Sarazar and Regem-Melech to pray for God's blessing and to confer with the priests of the temple of God of the angel armies and also with the prophets. They posed this question: should we plan for a day of mourning and abstinence next August, the 70th anniversary of Jerusalem's fall, as we have been doing all these years? God of the angel armies gave me this message for them, for all the people and for the priests. When you held days of fasting every 5th and 7th month all these 70 years, were you doing it for me? And when you held feasts, was that for me? Hardly. You're interested in religion. I'm interested in people. There's nothing new to say on the subject. Don't you still have the message of the earlier prophets from the time when Jerusalem was still a thriving, bustling city, and the outlying countryside, the Negev and Shephelah, was populated? This is the message that God gave Zechariah. Well, the message hasn't changed. God of the angel armies said then and says now, treat one another justly, love your neighbors, be compassionate with each other, don't take advantage of widows, orphans, visitors, and the poor, don't plot and scheme against one another, that's evil. But did your ancestors listen? No. They set their jaws in defiance. They shut their ears. They steeled themselves against God's revelation and the spirit-filled sermons preached by the earlier prophets by order of God of the angel armies. And God became angry, really angry, because he told them everything plainly, and they wouldn't listen to a word he said. So, this is what God of the angel armies said: if they won't listen to me, I won't listen to them. I scattered them to the four winds. They ended up strangers wherever they were. Their promised land became a vacant lot, weeds and tin cans and thistles, not a sign of life. They turned a dreamland into a wasteland. Zechariah chapter 8. And then these messages from God of the angel armies. A message from God of the angel armies. I am zealous for Zion, I care. I'm angry about Zion, I'm involved. God's message. I've come back to Zion. I've moved back to Jerusalem. Jerusalem's new names will be Truth City and Mountain of God of the Angel Armies and Mount Holiness. A message from God of the Angel Armies. Old men and old women will come back to Jerusalem, sit on benches on the streets and spin tales, move around safely with their canes, a good city to grow old in, and boys and girls will fill the public parks, laughing and playing, a good city to grow up in. A message from God of the angel armies. Do the problems of returning and rebuilding by just a few survivors seem too much? But is anything too much for me? Not if I have my say. A message from God of the angel armies. I'll collect my people from countries to the east and countries to the west. I'll bring them back and move them into Jerusalem. They'll be my people and I'll be their God. I'll stick with them and do right by them. A message from God of the angel armies. Get a grip on things. Hold tight. You who are listening to what I say through the preaching of the prophets. The temple of God of the angel armies has been reestablished. The temple is being rebuilt. We've come through a hard time. You worked for a pittance and were lucky to get that. The streets were dangerous. You could never let down your guard. I had turned the world into an armed camp, but things have changed. I'm taking the side of my core and surviving people. Sowing and harvesting will resume. Vines will grow grapes. Gardens will flourish. Dew and rain will make everything green. My core survivors will get everything they need and more. You've gotten a reputation as a bad news people, you people of Judah and Israel, but I'm coming to save you From now on, you're the good news people. Don't be afraid. Keep a firm grip on what I am doing. A message from God of the angel armies. In the same way that I decided to punish you when your ancestors made me angry and didn't pull my punches, at this time I've decided to bless Jerusalem and the country of Judah. Don't be afraid. And now, here's what I want you to do. Tell the truth, the whole truth, when you speak. Do the right thing by one another, both personally and in your courts. Don't cook up plans to take unfair advantage of others. Don't do or say what isn't so. I hate all that stuff. Keep your lives simple and honest. Decree of God. Again, I receive a message from God of the angel armies. The days of mourning set for the 4th, 5th, 7th, and 10th months will be turned into days of feasting for Judah, celebration and holiday. Embrace truth, love, peace. A message from God of the angel armies. People and their leaders will come from all over to see what's going on. The leaders will confer with one another. Shouldn't we try to get in on this? Get in on God's blessings? Pray to God of the angel armies. What's keeping us? Let's go. Lots of people, powerful nations, they'll come to Jerusalem looking for what they can get from God of the angel armies, looking to get a blessing from God. A message from God of the angel armies. At that time, 10 men speaking a variety of languages will grab the sleeve of one Jew, hold tight and say, "Let us go with you. We've heard that God is with you." Zechariah chapter 9. War Bulletin. God's message challenges the country of Hadrach. It will settle on Damascus. The whole world has its eyes on God. Israel isn't the only one. That includes Hamath at the border and Tyre and Sidon, clever as they think they are. Tyre has put together quite a kingdom for herself. She has stacked up silver like cordwood, piled gold high as haystacks. But God will certainly bankrupt her. He will dump all that wealth into the ocean and burn up what's left in a big fire. Ashkelon will see it and panic. Gaza will wring its hands. Ekron will face a dead end. Gaza's king will die. Ashkelon will be emptied out, and a villain will take over in Ashdod. I'll take proud Philistia down a peg. I'll make him spit out his bloody spoils and abandon his vile ways. What's left will be all God's, a core of survivors. A family brought together in Judah, but enemies like Ekron will go the way of the Jebusites. Into the dustbin of history. I will set up camp in my home country and defend it against invaders. Nobody is going to hurt my people ever again. I'm keeping my eye on them. Shout and cheer, daughter Zion. Raise your voice, daughter Jerusalem. Your king is coming. A good king who will make all things right. A humble king riding a donkey. A mere colt of a donkey. I've had it with war. No more chariots in Ephraim. No more war horses in Jerusalem. No more swords and spears, bows and arrows. He will offer peace to the nations, a peaceful rule worldwide, from the 4 winds to the 7 seas. And you, because of my blood covenant with you, I'll release your prisoners from their hopeless cells. Come home, hope-filled prisoners. This very day I'm declaring a double bonus. Everything you lost returned twice over. Judah is now my weapon, the bow I'll pull, setting Ephraim as an arrow to the string. I will wake up your sons, O Zion, to counter your sons, O Greece. From now on, people are my swords. Then God will come into view, his arrows flashing like lightning. Master God will blast his trumpet and set out in a whirlwind. God of the angel armies will protect them. All-out war, the war to end all wars. No holds barred. There, God will save the day. He'll rescue them. They'll become like sheep, gentle and soft, or like gemstones in a crown, catching all the colors of the sun. Then how they'll shine, shimmer, glow. The young men robust, the young women lovely. Amen.
Amen.